Almighty. And that means awesome. That means incredibly wonderful. He's not our buddy. He is the Almighty One. And we enjoy fellowship with him through Jesus Christ. He is incredibly awesome, incredibly powerful, infinitely mighty. Woody Allen once said, talking about God being almighty, Woody Allen said, you know, if God would only speak to me just once, if he'd only cough, if he could just see a miracle, if I could only see a burning bush or the sea part, and then he went on to say, if only God would give me some clear sign, like making a large deposit of my name at a Swiss bank. If God is almighty, why doesn't he do those things? Why doesn't he part the sea? Why doesn't he make a deposit of my name at a Swiss bank? Why doesn't God do some awesome things? Woody Allen, who's the one who said also most of life is showing up, by the way. I like that. Woody Allen said, you know, if God is so almighty, why doesn't he show it? And that's, I think, God's almightiness is something we all struggle with. You know, if God is almighty, like we say in the Apostles' Creed, if God is the Father Almighty, why doesn't he get rid of cancer in the world? Why doesn't God get rid of war? Why doesn't God eliminate injustice and prejudice and hunger? If God is almighty, why doesn't he do something about all the stuff we wrestle with every day in our lives? Good question. Very good question. And all I can say is that even though God is almighty, he does not overwhelm or overpower the human race by expressing its almightiness. People are still free to do their own thing. And if in the world we want to mess things up royally, if we want to do that as a human race, if we want to do that as individuals, God does not say, stop. God does not overwhelm us with his almightiness. He does not take away our free will. Yes, God is almighty. He could eliminate cancer. He could eliminate injustice, but he chooses not to. He chooses to let people do some of that work. And that's a pretty important distinction. So God's almightiness and his fatherliness are sometimes difficult to hold together. But the Apostles' Creed puts those together. I believe in God the Father Almighty. And then it says, maker of heaven and earth. God is the maker of heaven and earth. How did he do it? In the beginning, God created. I have no idea how he did it. All I know is that he did it. God created. And that song we heard read, talks about God, creator, awesome, wonderful, and on and on and on. Yes, maker of heaven and earth. That's what he is. During the Second World War, when London was being bombed by the Nazis, a little girl in London was heard to pray this prayer. She said, "Dear God, please protect Mommy and Daddy from those terrible German bombs. And dear God, please take care of yourself, because if anything happens to you, we are all sunk." Huh. Isn't that true? If anything happens to God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, we are all sunk. That is true. But let me tell you this. Nothing will ever happen to God. He is the Father. He is almighty. He is the maker of heaven and earth, in the past, in the present, in the future. That will be true. And we can count on that. And so, what is God like? What is God like? I can't tell you in 15 minutes, but we have an inkling of what God is like in the Apostles' Creed. When we say that he is the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth.